That could have been really bad. Good morning. Welcome back to the farm. We had a good day yesterday. We have some really good beans that we were not expecting. So we've got a couple of loaded trucks that are left from last night that are in that variety that was just a little bit greener, but still pretty dry. I think I'm gonna haul them into town anyway, because we've still got quite a few loads that need to go into town just to fill our contracts, and we'll probably cash quite a few out yet this fall on top of that. So we're gonna go and do that right now. And yesterday's video got a little long on me, so I'm gonna not film quite as much today. Also, I've been getting a lot of really good questions in the comments on these videos, and I'm falling behind in answering them, so I apologize for that. A lot of them are things that I'll answer as we get closer to when they become more relevant, like test weight on corn. And one of the things that you guys have asked me a couple of times was after I found that I broke that cutter bar drive head the other day, and I had one in the parts bin. I had a couple of people asking me, how do you know what parts to stock and keep in the parts bin, and will I buy another one of those to have it? Well, as far as knowing what to stock, it's kind of you stock things that you break frequently, I guess, or that you think might be an issue. I happen to have that in the parts bin because I broke the cutter bar that it attaches to a few years ago, and when I bought a new one, that it came with the new drive head, so I saved the old one off the broken piece, which is where that one had come from. And believe it or not, I actually have another one already in the parts bin, so I'm not going to buy another one. But on that particular thing, that's the first one of those I've ever broke, so I probably wouldn't have stocked it anyway. It just depends on the part, I guess, but it is nice to have things in the parts bin when you need them. So anyway, I roll a tarp, and we're gonna haul a couple truckloads of beans in. Dumping. Just made it back from that first load. That was about as close to perfect as you can get. 13.02. We had 908 bushels on there, so that was good. I think I'm gonna put that one in the bin now. For a couple of reasons. One, they seem to be okay dryness wise, and two, time. It's 9:30. We've got to treat some wheat today or Phil's gonna run out of seed, so I'm gonna do that here and after I get that truck unloaded rather than hauling it all the way into town. It'll take too long. So I'm getting ready to unload that truck, and we got to start our generator up. Just checking the oil there. I'm sure I'm gonna get the questions about why a generator to run our electric for our generator and stuff, and honestly it's because we can't get enough power from the power company. I'll go into this more in depth when I do my grain bin tour, but it's just easier to run everything with a generator. So this is a 230 kilowatt generator. It's got a Cummins diesel engine in it. It works really good. Before we make any dust, let's look in our bin here. Actually, it looks like Phil's already been in here. Just checking level and seeing whether we're even or not. Got just a little bit of a low spot on that side, but for the most part, it's not too bad. I'm not gonna complain about that. There's a pretty good chance we won't actually get this bin full, just because we won't have enough beans. And we've got to haul a bunch in this fall for cash flow purposes. So I think we're good. Awesome, looks good. They're not a lot of pods. That's really good, actually. These look good. All right, well, we got that truck empty. Those were a little wetter than the first truck we hauled in. We tested like 15 and a half, which it's not the end of the world. There wasn't a lot of poddy stuff. They were just wetter, so the aeration fan that we have running over there will dry them out. They'll be fine. All right, we're done with this for a while, so let's shut the generator off. So Phil's up in that field where we're combining and planting wheat right now, and our header cart's in the way. So I'm gonna run up there real quick and move it for him. Oh man, look at these cover crops, guys. This was one of them first fields where we spread the oats and radish seed, and it's beautiful. I mean, we got a perfect stand here. The radishes are all growing. Don't probably don't have much of a tumor to them yet, you know, a root. Well, they're deep, but that'll get really big over the next few weeks, and there's enough oats out here to help hold everything in place. Ah, this was perfect. Looks great. That John Deere Gator power. I don't think it would do it if it was loaded. So I was driving around to look at some of our other fields after I moved a header cart. Do you see this corner? Do you see the combine sitting right there? This is not our field. I don't even really know whose it is. Look at those beans compared to what I've been going through, though. They did them yesterday. It's not like they've been ripened up since they went around them. Difference in opinion, I guess. I would have ground them out without even thinking twice about it. All right, well, now we've got to treat some more wheat. So I've been cleaning up here a little bit and got everything set up. We got the wagon that we need. We've already treated a bunch out of this wagon. It's the same variety that we've already been planting, the SY100. So we're gonna treat whatever else we need of this variety, basically enough to finish the field that Phil's currently planting, and then one more, and I gotta do a little figuring to figure out how much more we need, but that's the plan here for the next hour or so. All right, well, we're running here. We've got about 8,000 pounds we need to treat, which will be 4 boxes, so it really won't take that long. And then we'll be done with this variety. We have one more variety that we'll need to do, but not gonna happen today. So, yeah, if you're curious about this process, I've done a couple of videos on it a week or two ago. Just real quickly, we're applying a fungicide seed treatment, Vibrance Extreme, to our seed wheat. It will protect it against seedling diseases and things that will attack that seed or seedling as it starts to grow here in the fall. Yeah, so we do that to all our wheat to help it get off to a good start and grow well. And yeah, that's the process here. Boat's winterized. All right, well, I'm done with that. I'll set this box over with the other ones over there, and then Phil will have enough wheat to finish planting everything that we've got combined and should have combined by the end of today. Well, now that that job's out of the way, it's just about noon, and it's time to go combine soybeans. So we're gonna head up to the field. We're gonna go through the combine just a little bit, check out the cutter bar on the bean head, make sure we don't have anything broken, guards, knives, and just check things over real quick, and we'll get started. These beans out back behind the farm here are turning rapidly. They were a 3.1 maturity, about the fullest season beans that we had up here. Our real full ones are down to Berkey. And they were green a week ago, and there's not much left on the leaves, so a couple more days and they'll be getting closer to, well, I mean, it'll be a week before they're ready at least. Well, the fodder and stuff laying on the ground is a lot drier now than it was when we started yesterday morning. I think this will go pretty well. Well, I gave the windows a quick wash. Didn't do a great job at it, but they're cleaner than they were. And we're back off and running. And yeah, they're still good. They're still good. All right, well, I'm still working on these, or I guess I'm almost done working on these. I don't know what the last thing I filmed was, but we still got some green pockets in a few spots. They're not terrible. But it does spike the moisture up there. I'm averaging, like ones I've done today are probably 14 to 15% average. I think they picked up a little bit of moisture overnight in the dry areas like these up here. You know, they're 12% or 12.5 instead of 10.5, which is not a bad thing. We'll put these in the bin because there's not a lot of those green ones. I'm not getting too many pods, and the aeration fan will take the moisture out of them pretty quickly, and they will be fine. So we got another round to make, and then we'll be wrapping this field up and on to the next. I am still fighting with them trying to wrap a little bit, but it's not as bad as it was last night. They're definitely drier, or the stems are drier than they were last night, so things break apart a little bit easier. I haven't had any trouble with the head pushing, so that is good. Done! We didn't quite hit 70. But 68.2 is pretty good, and the combine is full. and the grain cart is full. So we got to unload the grain cart and we'll put the rest of the combine into it, and then we'll get moved. Well, we'll probably take that truck back and unload it, then we'll get moved. Well, apparently the road wasn't black enough for them anymore, because while we were doing that, they tarred it. I don't understand. I don't think they're gonna spread stone, it doesn't sound like or look like. They just sprayed it with tar, which makes it super fun to drive on. Okay, I got that truck unloaded, and we took it to the next field, which is just a quarter of a mile up the road here. And so we're gonna take the combine now. Dad's up here, he's gonna bring the head, and then we'll come back and get that grain cart. These ones may not be ready yet. I know I've just done around on the ends, and I would like to make a pass over there where they look drier, but we're averaging 17%. That's gonna be too wet. I'm not gonna do that. So I'm probably gonna get enough to open the field up and make a pass through it and see what they look like, but we might have to pull out of here. I don't know. Well, they're drier here along the river. That's good. There goes my grain cart. Usually we start on the other end of this field, so he's gonna park it down there for me always. Okay, we got a problem. What kind of a problem? So this field, if you guys remember my way back in the spring pictures of the big flood we had, well, there's the river. This was one of them. Look what we got. Can you guys see that right there? There's a chunk of wood out here. We're gonna reverse it out. Made the slip clutch. Yeah, that's a big one. Oh, buddy. Wow, that could have been really bad. Fortunately, it was too big to fit through the feeder house, so it slipped the slip clutch on that feed drum. So when we flooded this spring, this stuff must have floated up out of the river or off of this pile or wherever it was at underwater, and that's where it landed. Must have been over in this edge. There's a pile of a few different pieces, sticks, branches. They didn't fall off any trees, they floated there. All right, I got these ends along the river almost done. We're still averaging just about 15%, which is borderline as to whether or not I would run them and put them in the bin. But we're gonna make this pass across the center of the field here, and we'll see what the average moisture for this pass is, and then we'll decide, because if they're dry out here as they look, which, I mean, yeah, they're down 12% here, dropping, 12, we'll go, but there was enough green ones along the river to bring up the moisture, and I think there's not as many green ones once you get off the end rows, so we'll see here. All right, well, that pass averaged a little over 15, about the same as what the rest of the field has been. I'm on borderline here, but when I look at that, see that green streak through there and all that low ground? I don't think I can combine those. I think we're gonna have to pull out of here and go somewhere else, which is really unfortunate. I wanted to get this done because it's going to wheat, but they're just gonna be a little too green. So I'm gonna finish this round, and we're probably gonna pull out of here. Okay, I'm gonna take this truck back and unload it, verify that what the combine's telling me is accurate and that they're a little wet. And then we'll talk to Dad and make a decision on what to do next. 15.5, it's a little wet. Well, I decided to come look at another field. This is the very first field that we planted. These are a 2.9 maturity bean, but they were planted the 23rd of April, I believe. They're not going to wheat here, so we wanted to see how they look, and honestly they look drier than what we were just in. We're good. Okay, well, we are going to move. So I dropped the head, Dad's gonna pull it. We gotta stop at home and fuel up. There's 86 acres, I believe, in that field that we're gonna go to. So I think we'll get started there tonight, but we aren't gonna get it done. We'll get a truckload maybe, see how good they're gonna be. Check it out. Dad flipped the sight gauge on our fuel tank so we can actually see where the level is. Right there. That fuel's got dye in it, off-road, and it stains the tube so bad. You can see right there about is where the level used to be or was, and the bottom of it, which is now the top, is so dark I couldn't see anything. So we had a bunch of extra coiled up on top. He just flipped it upside down. Now we can see again. All right, well, we're getting started here. 30-inch rows are going to be a little bit different. Means I can take a full 40 foot. Usually I set it at 39.5 just so I don't have any skips. But with the wide rows, I should be able to take a full 16 rows every time. I am just finishing this little pass on these ends, and I'm going to go back with that and get the grain cart. So far they're dry, 12%. That's good. Grain cart's a bit of a slow trip because of the tracks. You can't go as fast, so 20 mile an hour top speed, and when we got an 8-mile move here, it's gonna take us a little bit to get there. Fill's about done though. Got another round or two maybe. Okay, finally we made it down here. Oh, it's gotta be, I don't know what time it is. 6:30. We aren't accomplishing a whole lot today, but that's okay. Let's see if we can't knock out 30 acres or so tonight here. So I'm doing the first full round without end rows in it here, and they're not bad. They're not bad. 53 is going to be pretty darn good. If we can average in the mid-50s on this farm, I will be thrilled. We're about 8 miles away from where the last fields that we were running 70, so I didn't expect them to be as good. I don't think we had quite as much rain here over the course of the summer, and but that's, man, still awesome. Here's we have a little sprayer blight here. Whoops. That's the problem with 30-inch rows when you try and follow the rows with the sprayer. And you run them down, 15-inch rows, I know I'm going to run beans over. With 30-inch rows, I shouldn't. And so when you do, you feel really bad about it. But it's going to happen. Bill's here. They brought a truck, getting the grain cart unloaded. I brought my light bulb. I think I'm going to go change it. Okay, here's my light that's out. We got to get the bulb out of the back there, plug a new one in, and see if it works. If it does, it was the bulb. If not, it's a wiring issue. Or you just wiggle it, and it works. Literally just bumped it. I don't know. There's something wrong with this harness. What? Seems to work though. Let's see, where do we want it pointed? About like that, I guess. Alright, cool. Well, that was easier than I thought it was going to be. I would like to be able to finish filling this grain cart so we have a second load to haul in the morning. But I am starting to have some beans push on me a little bit. I don't know if we're going to be able to work long enough to fill it or not. We'll see. Gosh dang it. I am starting to fight this pushing quite a bit more. And I'm right to the point where you can't see it, but there's the woods juts out there. That spot in the back where I got to do more end rows, and those are probably going to be really bad wet, like, or not wet, but damp, like pushing issues. So when we get done with this round, we're going to call it. Any of you guys run a similar head to this and know why it keeps pushing on my ends like that? It's almost always the ends, one side or the other. Once in a while it'll be, 10 foot in from the end or something, but man, do I fight this. As soon as it gets dark and starts getting damp, the beans aren't really tough. I would be able to run them through the combine for quite a while yet, but it's just a nightmare to combine when they get like that. Look at that. See, that's the other spot that does it. Can you see it? Right underneath that first spider. It's still doing it. I don't have any broken guards. I got out and checked that. The poly, the skid plates underneath are, they're not brand new, but the ones on the ends where it pushes mostly are not bad. There's a couple in the middle or towards the middle that are worn more than that, and it doesn't push there. So I don't think that's the problem. I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. I was contemplating running on an angle, kind of going across the rows a little bit so that it's not always the same spot that's got beans coming into it, and maybe that would stop it from pushing so bad. But I don't really want to do that in these nice 30-inch rows where I can take a full 40 foot and run right down the rows without knocking any of them over. But maybe in other fields I'll have to do that. So anyway, we're almost to the end here. I'm going to quit for the night. We did, what did we do? 32 acres in this field. That's a good start, and there's still pretty good beans. We're running right at 50, which I'll take it. Well, we didn't get the grain cart full, but won't take much more to fill it. I'm hoping tomorrow Phil isn't going to have anywhere to plant beans, or plant wheat, I'm sorry, because he's pretty well caught up to us. So I'm hoping that he'll be around and he can run trucks and we can just combine. That'd be nice. I'm going to move this truck up closer to the driveway. Phil said, make sure I rolled the windows up. Okay. Okay, guys. That's it for today. Well, we didn't have a great day in terms of productivity and getting acres done. I did a little over 60, which isn't bad, but it's not great. But we got that other field done with some really good beans. 68 average is fantastic. We found some that were too wet, but those are also going to be very good beans. That field that we pulled out of was averaging 70. So that is good. And we're a long ways away, different weather patterns here. I don't think we caught quite as much rain, so I'm not disappointed to see them going 50. That's still good. I'm still happy with that. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. We will get this field finished up, and then I will have to look around a little bit more to see if we can't find somewhere else to go, or I don't know what else is going to happen. We'll see. So anyway, have a great night, everybody. If you have any questions and comments, leave them down below. Hit that like and subscribe buttons for me if you would, please. And don't forget, I'm thinking about a live stream. I'm shooting for Saturday afternoon right now. That's kind of my plan. So hit that notification button so that you're notified when I go live. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.